Today's video is actually kind of not fun. Well, I shouldn't say it's not fun, it's just kind of technical. Well, it's not really technical. You know what, let's just get into the video, and then you can decide for yourself what today's video is. Sound good? Today we are talking about the 180 rule, or 180-degree rule, depending on who you ask or what you make up on the fly, like in this video. So, the 180 rule is a concept in filmmaking where you draw a virtual line between subjects in a shot, and then you never go past the line when you're moving your camera around. And so, you know what, that's kind of confusing. How about we do a diagram? So, imagine that we have two people in a shot. Alright, and let's say we place the camera here to start with. Now, we draw a virtual line between the two people, and that means we can move our camera anywhere in this area, but we can't go up here. That's because the human brain is kind of designed to associate things in space, and as soon as you go past this virtual line we've put between the two people, the brain starts having a little bit more difficult of a time sorting things out about where things are in relation to one another in the space being presented. And to illustrate this point, I have an example for you. Be warned though, this example isn't exactly professional, and at least one of the people involved is a little bit too stiff of an actor. In the first version, we're going to do it right. We're going to obey the 180 rule so that you can see what a normal, more television or movie-esque sort of scene will be like. In the second example, we're just going to violate that 180 rule. We're going to place the camera wherever we feel like. Try to pay attention to the tension in the scene, and try to see if you feel more disconcerted during the second example. You ready? Here they come. Hey Jim, how you doing? Oh, that's great. I heard you got fired from your last job, so it's good to see you up and on your feet still. Ooh, sorry. Hey Jim, how you doing? Oh, that's great. I heard you got fired from your last job, so it's good to see you up and on your feet still. Ooh, sorry. So if I didn't fail at this horribly, you should have noticed that in the first one there's a very clear idea in your mind of where people were in relation to one another. In the second example, you should have felt just a little bit off. Maybe you can't articulate why you didn't feel quite right, but it's definitely noticeable. Now imagine going from like a little 10-second scene into like a 2-hour movie or like very complex dialogue. And you can see how not obeying this rule could make you a little bit crazy in the brain. And actually there are some very good reasons to not obey this rule. The classic example is just in action films. By breaking the 180 rule, you can add tension to the scene and actually disassociate the viewer from the space, leaving a very subtle hint of uneasiness that actually adds to the action. Good action films break this rule, pretty rarely, and the small bit of tension added actually adds to the scene. Bad action films, on the other hand, do this a lot. The camera just flies all over the place. You can't get any sort of structuring about how things relate to each other in the space, and you end up feeling just more confused than, extra tension-y like. Some directors are quite bad at this. Michael A. Oh, goodness. Excuse me. So yeah, now you know the 180 rule. Go out there, use it, apply it, and never talk to me about it again. Because I've done my part. My civic duty is complete. Sometimes in the course of making YouTube videos, you have to do things that are a little bit silly.